One of the most common questions I get is popcorn healthy? Now, I will tell you this, and people that ask this, typically, they don't really want to hear my answer because popcorn, although it has a low glycemic impact, is really not a healthy food because it's very, very low in nutrients. 3 cups of popcorn is equivalent to about 93 calories. Now, 72 of those calories are from carbs. So it's a low calorie food, right? But most of it's coming from carbs, and those carbs are going to increase our insulin levels, okay? And it doesn't have protein. It's very, very low in protein. Another big issue with popcorn is that the corn is GMO, right? Typically, it's genetically modified. It's sprayed with glyphosate, and they use vegetable oils, right? And so you're gonna find things like sunflower, safflower, cottonseed, peanut oil, canola oil, all these toxic seed oils that are extremely damaging to our mitochondria. Now, the question was, how about if it's cooked in beef tallow or maybe grass-fed butter? That's a much better oil source, right? We're gonna get more nutrients in it. It's gonna be a lot better for our body. And so there's some benefits to doing that. However, anytime we cook starch, okay, we're gonna form something called acrylamide. And acrylamide is a significant pro-inflammatory agent in our body, and it comes from cooking starch at high heat. So for example, if we're cooking, popping popcorn, we're gonna have some acrylamide. Now, I will say that corn in general is not a high source of acrylamide when we cook corn, okay? Whereas another question was about potato, and we'll go into that. Potato becomes higher in acrylamide when we cook it. But the issue with corn is that it's also high in mycotoxins. These are mold-forming toxins. And so we want to reduce our exposure to that because those mycotoxins drive inflammation in our body. So the more that we can avoid that, the better. So I don't consider corn to be a really healthy food. Now, corn on the cob, like if you were to get just pure corn on the cob, it's going to be better, in my opinion, than like something like a popcorn. But in general, still not a very healthy food. It's very low in nutrients, but at the same time, it increases blood sugar and it may be carrying toxins into our body. So our goal when it comes to nutrition is, let's eat food that has maximal amount of nutrients, but minimal amount of toxins, right? Lowest amount of toxins, highest amount of nutrients. Corn really doesn't fit the bit there. So it's more of an inferior food source in general. But when it comes to popcorn, because it's so low calorie, I don't think it's as significant an issue as many other processed foods. The real key is the oil or the fat that you're gonna use with it. That is why I recommend, if you're doing popcorn, use real butter. Get an organic popcorn, right? Just the kernels, organic, and then make it yourself with real grass-fed butter. Butter is rich in fat-soluble nutrients, conjugate linoleic acid, and saturated fats, as well as something called pentadecanoic acid, this fatty 15, which is needed to support the healing of the mitochondrial inner membrane. In fact, fatty 15 has been shown to help dislocate linoleic acid that we get from seed oils from the mitochondrial inner membrane, so we get less oxidative stress in and around our mitochondria. And that's really key because the healthier our mitochondria, the better we're gonna be able to stabilize our blood sugar and burn fat for fuel. So getting grass-fed butter in your system is really, really important. And so if the popcorn is a way to carry that grass-fed butter into your system, then I would say that's a good thing. But in general, corn's not it's not the best, healthiest, nutrient-dense food. So you could also get butter, right, by putting on a grass-fed steak. You could put butter on steamed broccoli, right, or something along those lines, a better carrier source for the butter. But if you really enjoy your popcorn, I'm not gonna take it away 100%, okay? Just have it in moderation and make sure that it's organic and cooked with grass-fed butter. And of course, for blood sugar stability, it's always important to have something like popcorn after a high protein meal that's also rich in antioxidants. So let's say you had a big salad with arugula, tomatoes, you had a steak on the side, that's gonna be antioxidant rich as well as rich in protein. So there you go. Now, how about chips cooked in beef tallow? Great question. Tallow is amazing. It's high in fat-soluble nutrients, high in saturated fat. It also has it has something called palmitoleic acid. It doesn't have as much of the fatty 15, but something called palmitoleic acid, which is an omega-7 fat that's been shown to help improve insulin sensitivity as well. So tallow is great. Now, What's better, corn or potato chips, right? And we're always concerned about the glycemic impact and acrylamide whenever it comes to any sort of cooked starch. We have to consider glycemic impact. How high does it raise your blood sugar and your insulin? And also, what are the levels of acrylamide, okay? Now, what we found is that potato chips are higher glycemic and higher in acrylamide than corn chips. For example, one study found that potato-based chips contained 23% more acrylamide than corn-based chips. So it would actually be better to do some sort of corn chip rather than a potato chip. Now, I'm not saying potatoes are bad. It's just when we cook them at such a high temperature, we're causing the acrylamide formation, okay? Now, there is a brand called Masa chips. This is the kind of chips that we have at our house. Now, I personally, I'm not a big chip lover, but my wife is. And so we have the Masa chips, which are cooked in beef tallow. It's corn chips cooked in beef tallow. And they use something called a nixtamalization, which is an ancient process used over thousands of years by the traditional Mesoamerican cultures to improve the healthful effects of eating corn. What does it involve? Well, they boil the corn with naturally occurring minerals, namely limestone, which makes the corn more digestible. It reduces mycotoxins that commonly affect corn, we talked about that, and makes nutrients like vitamin B3, niacin, more bioavailable. The result is a healthier, tastier food that maximizes the nutrient potential of one of the world's oldest crops, which is corn. Okay, so people have been eating corn for a long time. I know I already talked about how I think corn is more of an inferior food in general, which I still believe that it's just the case. Okay, if you were to look at steak, or you were to look at something like arugula or even an apple, there's a lot more nutrients in any of those foods than there are in corn, right? And so corn it's an inferior food, but it is an ancient food, okay? And it's something that pretty much all of our ancestors were consuming something like corn or something very similar to corn throughout their lives. And so this is something you can use. Masa chips, right? Cooked in the beef tallow. They use that method of boiling the corn, right, with the limestone to add back mineralization and also to make it more digestible. Now, again, always important to make this, or to have this, I should say, with protein and healthy fats. So have them with homemade guacamole. So you got the avocado. You can also do salsa where you've got antioxidants in there. So lots of colorful fruits and vegetables. And then you got to have protein in there. So let's say maybe some grilled chicken, right, or grilled steak, and now you got a complete meal. The problem is going to be when you are consuming chips all by itself, or if you're consuming popcorn all by itself, you've got nothing there to help stabilize your blood sugar and your insulin levels. So make sure you get the protein, the antioxidants in there, and then if you have a little bit of those carbs, not going to be an issue, right? Now, if you want to check out the Masa chips, I'm going to have a link in the show notes, but you can also go to masachips.com/Dr. David Jockers. I think that gives you some sort of discount on your initial order of the Masa chips. They're great. You're going to love them. They taste amazing. But again, don't overdo it on chips. Just because it's a healthier chip does not mean you should be consuming it every day. It's something that you should have as a treat every now and then, right? And that's really the best approach to consuming chips, consuming popcorn, even if they're cooked in a healthy fat. So hopefully you get a lot out of this video. Please share it. If you know anybody that's eating chips and popcorn, it's a great video to share with them. So share it with them, and we'll see you on a future video. Be blessed.